Riddle me this, riddle me that. Who's afraid of the big black cat? Ooh, it's Batman! Batman's here! Batman's here! Oh, save me, please! Sorry, I'm just messing around. Hey everyone, welcome to my channel, Random Production Private Limited. I'm your host, the Random Nerd Guy. So, now we're gonna talk about today about some bat culture. As you know, after one of the most prolific superhero is the Batman, and the most iconic DC character, Batman has gone through most revolutionary changes from all the decades, from the campy Adam's approach to the Batman era not so great approach. So let's begin. So, Batman first came to limelight on the TV series called, where the center character was played by Adam West in 1966. Later in the 1992, because of the popularity of the show, Batman animated series was created, and its dark, deep approach psychological approach made a Batman a household name, which we all grew up with. Then again, because of the popularity of the animated series, Warner Bros. Adopted 1999 the Batman, starring Michael Keaton as the central character. But then again, there was a lot of hypocrisy approach. I mean, Michael Keaton was the big comic star starring in the Beetlejuice role, so the world was skeptical. But he proved all of us wrong by saying the most iconic line, "I am Batman, I'm Batman." Sorry for my voice. Now, because of the popularity of the movie, Warner Bros. Started a Tim Burton franchise, and the sequel came in 1992, Batman Returns, where he teams up with Catwoman. Then it was slightly different in the first movie, which had very dark and very gritty approach to tone, which I don't like till this time now. Then, because audience didn't like it, third movie was made with a little more light comical approach with Val Kilmer in the role, starring Batman Forever in 1995. And because of the popularity of the movie, and Jim Carrey was in the movie, my favorite, so Warner Bros. Started another 1997 Batman sequel called Batman and Robin, which is I can't describe it in a nutshell. So it's that movie was a big mess because of his sexuality in tone and regressive approach, direction, unforgettable cartoony characters, and it was a big flop, and the franchise came to a halt. Then after a decade and numerous delays in productions, then it came the Batman Begins in 2005, handheld by the greatest director of all time, Christopher Nolan, in our era, and where the center character was played by Christian Bale. And because of that, Batman again came to limelight. And it was an instant hit because with the audiences, and because of that, a sequel was greenlit called The Dark Knight 2008, and which also featured Christian Bale again in the central role with, surprise, Heath Ledger as the iconic Joker, which still is the greatest superhero movie made after Spider-Man 2 in 2002. Because of this, and because of Heath Ledger's iconic performance as the Joker, a third sequel came in 2012 called The Dark Knight Rises, where Christian Bale was again playing the central character, and this time he was facing Tom Hardy in the role of Bane, and the trilogy came to an end. Also, Christian Bale's Batman, whatever the meme material or how you want to make of it, it is the best Batman portrayal of all time. Like I said, because Bale has said it, and also that this character has a light and both dark approach in all the ways, like the psyche of every human being, right? Batman is the dark side of Bruce Wayne, and Bruce Wayne is the lighter side of Bruce Wayne. So these are two very different, but they together become that one person. And this so Bale has done a great job portraying their character, and Nolan has understood it very perfectly. He also said in his interview that this character is a flawed character, a moral character. Ben Affleck was casted as Batman, and he played the center character in BVS, Dawn of Justice, and which was directed again by the Man of Steel director Zack Snyder. So I don't know what, regardless of all the controversies and the byproduct, whatever happened behind the post-production plans and not, because of what you make all of the movie, Affleck was great as Batman. Suicide Squad 2016, directed by David Ayer, again produced by Zack Snyder, and it was a small cameo, but he was great. And there was that. And again in 2017, he played again Batman in 2017 Justice League, and Zack Snyder's the most prized version of this movie of the called the Snyder Cut, where he comes face to face, where he comes to face with all the characters from the DC universe like Flash, Wonder Woman, Aquaman. 3 films, he was gonna feature his own solo film. Called The Batman. So a lot of production problems started, and as you all know, because of the controversies in Affleck's life, personal and professional life, his alcoholism, rehab. February 2017, Matt Reeves was casted as the director of The Batman, which he produced, wrote, and directed. And after a few months, Robert Pattinson was cast as a central character in The Batman. Now, after watching him in the teaser of The Batman, and because of the suit and the post-production pictures and the training and how he was making a dedicated character, he said that Batman is a freak and he want to play all these weird, goofy characters in his career. So, here's this The Batman 2022 in a nutshell. After the Gotham City Mayor Don Mitchell was murdered by the Riddler, James Gordon discovers a message left for Batman by the Riddler. But Savage took a guy, Pete Savage, took hold of Gordon. So Riddler was killed by Savage, and he leaves another message for Batman. And now Batman and Gordon discover some clues containing in the cars of a woman belonging to Riddler and at the Iceberg Lounge owned by the Penguin within the comics and in the film. While the Penguin says he's innocent, he notices that Selina Kyle, Annika's roommate, who is, by the way, Selena's friend in the film, works at a club as a waitress. Batman now follows Selena home to question, but she disappears as she is Catwoman. Booyah. So he sends Selena back to the iceberg lounge to search for answers. Thus, Selena, Batman discovers that Jill Coulson is the district attorney working for Falcone, Alberto Falcone, everyone, the GCPD crime lord, and who is Thomas Wayne's family friend, who is Bruce Wayne's father. So yeah, so Bruce is now shattered after discovering that his father had a connection with a crime lord. Long Halloween trivia, anyone? So, the Riddler abducts Coulson, straps a time collar bomb to his neck, and sends him to the Mitchell's funeral. That funeral scene in the church where Pattinson sees this car coming at the church and later gets involved, later survives that crash bomb blast from the church, and therefore and because of Coulson refuses to answer the third question of Riddler, which provides GCPD information to end Sal Maroney's operation, the car explodes and he dies. Batman and Gordon discover that it thinks that it may be Penguin and tracks him to a drug deal. And as the Penguin flees, Selena discovers Annika's corpse in a car trunk. Batman makes a chase within his Batmobile after the Penguin, but after nabbing the Penguin and interrogating him, he learns that he did not kill Coulson. So Batman and Gordon follow the Riddler's other messages to find an orphanage which was funded by Thomas and Martha Wayne, aka Bruce Wayne's parents. So Bruce asks Alfred about the letters and the clues sent to him about and his family's connection to the Falcone crime family, which Alfred accepts that yes, they were related. The Riddler leaks evidence that Thomas, who was running for mayor, hired Falcone to kill a journalist for detailing embarrassing details about the family. But Alfred corrects Bruce that Thomas did not intend Falcone to murder Jenna and planned to turn him over to the police once he found out. Alfred believes that Falcone had Thomas and Mara killed to prevent this, not the other way around. So Selena tells Batman that Falcone is her father, though Falcone doesn't know it. So, if you want to know where this plot hole came from, ladies and gentlemen, read Catwoman and Rogue by Jeff Loeb himself, a sequel to The Long Halloween. Moving on. After she learns that Falcone killed Annika because Mitchell told her that Falcone was the informant, and therefore she decides to kill him. So both the Bat and Cat duo arrives at the iceberg lounge in time to stop her and kills, but the Riddler kills Falcone as he's arrested. And therefore Batman unmasks the Riddler, who is known as Edward Nashton, aka Edward Enigma, and is kept in the Arkham State Hospital, where he laments about failing to kill Bruce, but he does not know that Bruce is Batman, whom he idolizes and gave him an inspiration to become the Riddler. And when Batman approaches him in the hospital about his connection to the murders, Riddler gives him a partnership to work together, but Batman, being Batman, doesn't want to work with him. Therefore, but Riddler gives him a clue that he planted car bombs all around Gotham, and he was going to kill the next future mayor of Gotham, Bellariel. The bombs did, and as they were talking, the bombs detonate around the Gotham, which breaks the wall, which breaks the tunnels around the Gotham city and flood the city. And a shelter is set up in an indoor arena where Nashton's followers shoot, but they fail to kill Real. And because, surprise, surprise, Batman and Selina arrives there in the nick of time and saves her. And at the end where the film ends, Nashton befriends another inmate, where Selina leaves Gotham saying that it's beyond saving. Dark Knight Rises to save everyone, and where Batman, he gets ready for another adventure, and Gotham is home and trying to save it, ready to save it. Ready for another sequel.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen.
So, ladies and gentlemen, if you carefully watch that ending scene where Edward Nygma is befriending another inmate in the Arkham hospital, is actually the Joker, played by Barry Keoghan, which reportedly Keoghan said that he shot 2 scenes as the Joker for the Batman film, which was automatically cut from the film, which you can guess which will be put into the sequel, or maybe in the sequel to the Joker, Todd Phillips' Joker, played by Joaquin Phoenix. I don't know. Since Matt Reeves is starting a Batverse around Batman and his nemesis and characters, creating a Batverse similar to Spider-Verse in the MCU, all the possibilities are open. So, after all, giving you the plot plan, what do we come to the conclusion? We can just say that this story is somewhat familiar, right? If you have read The Long Halloween and Catwoman in Rome comics, and if you have played the Batman games made by Telltale, The Enemy Within and the Telltale series, both, you'll know that the Batman's plot is very much similar and nothing's that different, and which I have already shared about it in my Instagram, account. Follow me at Rafid Moin 92, which I've shared, and I made a nutshell with Telltale Games. So back to the movie. So, as I was saying, this and because of how the writing was made and the tone was made, it also tried to replicate the Batman Begins of the Dark Knight trilogy, and which also explored the origins of the Batman, and it also made I don't know how much frame to frame copied the tone and the atmosphere of that film, and I didn't found it so much. I didn't great or anything. It just one time watch and forgot about it. And so I would like to say, is the Batman worth watching in 2022? As an origin story or as a success or worthy successor to the Dark Knight trilogy? No. I don't. And if you're an ardent Pattinson fan or a Batman fan, you'll find it great. But in the long term, if you compare with the Nolan films and other films, especially the Keaton films made by Tim Burton, you'll just won't find anything great or anything how memorable how the previous movies have done, ladies and gentlemen. So, ladies and gentlemen, so we can just say that the Batman 2022 is the most overrated film of 2022, and boring. Yes, boring is because it's too long and short story, but because of all the marketing and because to pleasure the fans and because Pattinson was casting the movie and because of creating Batverse, Reeves just went haywire with this one. So it's maybe one of the worst films of 2022 in my list. Gotham Knights, which may or may not be a sequel to the Batman Arkham Origins or ARKHAMVERSE, we will later know. The release date has just been announced. It will release on 25th October 2022. I repeat, Gotham Knights will release on October 25th, 2022. Now note that, ladies and gentlemen, 9 years back, Arkham Origins was released on October 24th, 2013. So you can understand that there is some kind of maybe in connection, or we will see some Easter eggs of Batman Arkham Origins because W Games Montreal both produce and release those projects in the same day. So we can expect some of the Arkham Origins characters, villains, and the aftermath story that can come in the upcoming Gotham Knights game in October. Let's just hope. Another Gotham Knights trivia, the upcoming CW Gotham Knights TV series, which comes from the Batwoman writers, specifically who are responsible for creating the Supergirl, Batwoman, and the Arrowverse especially, now are creating this TV series based on the center characters of Batman and may or may not be related to Gotham Knights, and is coming at CW very soon. Greg Berlanti, Shara Schechter, David Maiden of Berlanti Productions will produce it, and Danny Cannon will direct and executively produce the pilot. Although WB is saying that it's not a spin-off of Gotham Knights video game, but who knows? Themes. They also say similar things about Spider-Man No Way Home. So, in the series, the characters will be played by Olivia Rose Keegan, Navia Robinson, Oscar Morgan have all joined the pilot. In a report according to Variety, Fallon Smythe and Tyler DiChiara are all set to star. Let's just hope the CW's run on these DC characters has not been great. The rating, the Supergirl had a pathetic ending, and Batwoman's ratings are disasters. So let's just hope that they don't fuck this up. That's the All Bat trivia today, ladies and gentlemen, and I will see you next time. But don't leave so soon. Stay tuned for more, because 2022 looks like a more exciting year for every one of us. All the upcoming animes and all the DC movies, Marvel movies is gonna release, and I will talk about it. I will cover all the things in my next videos. So stay tuned and please subscribe my channel and tap the bell icon to get the latest notifications. And I will see you next time. Tata, bye bye. Ciao.
I'm a man of my word.